How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Fame. We are back with another FPL video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the best captaincy options for Game Week 34. We're on the last 5 game weeks of the season, and it's crunch time. We got to get those captaincy choices right, and I don't think there's very many options this week. A couple of players play on the same teams, and they're versus not the greatest defensive opposition, which means it could be goals galore if you get the armband right. If you haven't done so already, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn those notification bells on so that you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. And drop us a follow over on Twitter so that you can keep up to date with all the FPL news that we post and retweet over there. And drop us a follow over on Twitch so that you can catch us live for our FPL preview and deadline streams. We will be doing a deadline stream on Friday for Game Week 34. So make sure to check the pinned comment down below for more information on that. So without further ado, let's see which captaincies we have for this week. So the first captaincy option that we have is pretty straightforward. It's Harry Kane. He was the only player that really looked like he was going to do anything in the Carabao Cup final versus Man City. Man City was just very dominant, and it kind of looked like a Mourinho team. So maybe an extra week under their belt may do Spurs some good. They are playing Sheffield United, which is arguably the best team you can play, as they really have nothing to play for apart from pride. They're going down. They're going to end up 20th this season. And I think that the likes of Spurs are going to see this game as a must-win. They have nothing else to play for. They have to basically win out if they want any chance of European football, having lost the Carabao Cup final. Kane, over the last 4 matches, has been top for XGI with 4.44 and top for big chances with 6 and third for shots in the box with 14. So the numbers are there. The form is there. He's got 21 goals with 13 assists in the league this season, 218 points. A great season by Harry Kane, and is almost getting up to his price tag of when he was in the best form of his life in the Premier League of 12 million. And he could potentially start at that next season, which would be quite interesting to see where they actually price him. I think Kane's going to be the front runner this week. I don't have him currently. I sold him because I thought he was going to be injured for the final. May just get him straight back in for Jamie Vardy. I can do that after catching 2 price rises on Vardy, which was quite nice in one transfer. If not, is it worth it for a hit? Maybe, maybe not. But I still think Vardy has a chance to get something versus Southampton. He's been getting the numbers as well. But I think Kane's definitely going to be the front runner. Probably going to be over 100% ownership. Almost certainly. Won't be over 200%, I don't think, because all the triple captaincy chips have pretty much been used up, most likely. There's only really free hits and maybe bench boosts kind of hanging around. And apart from that, not much going on that front. So I think Kane, probably the front runner captaincy choice this week. Sheffield United at home. Can't ask for a better fixture from the big Englishman up front. And the other player that is playing Sheffield United as well would be Heung-min Son, Kane's usual partner in crime. 15 goals, 9 assists on the season. Has kind of stagnated a little bit over the past 4 matches. He is still maintaining his chance creation. He's top 5 among all midfielders in the division with 7, and he hasn't created a big chance. So that's kind of the big worry. You want Son creating big chances. You want Kane getting on the end of them. You want Kane creating big chances with Son getting on the end of them. And since he hasn't created a big chance over the last 4 matches, that's a bit of a worry. He looked pretty distraught after the final. So maybe he's kind of just like, well, this season's whatever. It's kind of a write-off. And maybe he's looking to potentially move from the club at the end of the season, much like Kane, and look for trophy aspirations. However, I do think with Kane being back, that will help Son's output. Playing, a game without Kane will drop your output. Playing through the middle, Son has done decently well, but with Kane in the team, it's like Bayern Munich without Lewandowski. It just doesn't make sense not to play arguably your best player in your team. And I think that Kane would definitely help Son out in that regard. Somebody to get on the end of his crosses. I just hope that they go back to playing how they did when they had Bale first kind of break into the team under Jose Mourinho, where they were a lot more attacking. They had Ndombele in there in the number 10 role, with the front 3 kind of doing their thing and 2 sitters in behind it. It allows Ndombele to run the show, and it allows the likes of Son and Bale to kind of drift inside and get closer to the goal, which means more FPL points for us, or more potential FPL points for us if we have them in our teams. I would expect they should have as strong of a lineup attacking-wise as possible versus Sheffield United, who don't really offer much pace on the break, apart from Ollie Burke, who's, again, not the greatest finisher in the world. And I think that Son could potentially be in the points here. I have in my team, he's going nowhere for the moment. I want to see something over these next couple of matches versus Sheffield United and Leeds, who are two teams that should be there for the taking for Spurs. They don't show me anything there, then I don't think they're going to be good for the rest of the season. With them just kind of slowly losing European hopes as they continue to drop points. And now that they're knocked out of all the competitions, they have only the league to play for. So over the next two, I want to see how they do. But Son, definitely an option for the captaincy option. Is he better than Kane? Definitely not, but if you have Son on your team, I'd say he could potentially be the next best thing this game week. Now, for another forward in form, we have Kalechi Ian Nacho. The man has been doing absolute crazy things up front for Leicester and has basically kept them in the top four single-handedly almost. He's tied 7th for XGI among all players with 2.64, but he has 4 goals to his name over the last 4 matches, so outperforming his XG, and his latest goal was absolutely superb versus Crystal Palace. Just kind of shifted it to one side and just blasted it into the roof of the net. He's had 2 big chances in that time as well and scored 4 goals from it. So he's taken both of those 2 big chances and then scored from, I guess you can call them half chances. Obviously, one of them being the Crystal Palace goal they scored this game week gone in game week 33, where he racked up a total of 12 points with a goal and an assist, getting his first assist of the FPL season. He's top 5 for shots in the box with 10, which is what you want to see. And he's in more of like this central role. Even though he does drop off and link the play, the second he does that, he pushes himself right into the center of the box, getting in and around there. And he's also a decent aerial threat as well, and could potentially get some headed attempts with the likes of Johnny Evans, Soyuncu, and Fofana on set plays. For 6.2 million, he's definitely been a bargain over this stretch with the injuries of Maddison and Barnes allowing him to come into the team. Southampton away, he's in form. Southampton are very bad defensively, and Leicester have been quite good on the road this season. He could definitely be in the points again, and I think Ian Nacho could be even as good of a front runner as Kane for this game week. And his partner in crime again, Jamie Vardy, someone who's been somewhat consistent across the whole season, you might say. 13 goals, 13 assists. Those numbers seem quite even. Although he hasn't been very consistent based on the numbers. You'd think, oh, maybe he's getting a goal here, an assist there, goal here, assist there. But it's been more of a, scoring in bunches and then kind of a drought for a long period and then scoring in bunches again in recent weeks. 163 points on the season, which isn't too bad. Potentially could reach 200 if he gets, some good scores by the end of game week 38. One goal would definitely do him a world of confidence. He just needs to get that one goal in the game, and if it comes early on in the game, he can definitely rack up a significant score. They did that versus Southampton for the team, and he ended up scoring a hat-trick in their 9-0 a couple seasons ago. He's only got 1 goal from 3 big chances, though, so that would kind of put me off captaining him over the likes of Ian Nacho if you have both, which I do currently in my team. But he has still been getting the shots inside the box, similar to Ian Nacho's number 7 inside the box for him compared to Ian Nacho's 10. Considering he's playing kind of more of like a left forward type role at times and is more of like the outlet in behind, he just needs one of those to go right for him, and then he can definitely put the ball in the back of the net. He can be ruthless at times, and I think he's definitely one of these strikers that can go on an absolute tear. I'm considering keeping him over Kane because of, the possibility of having Ian Nacho and Vardy assist each other is very likely on the break specifically, because Ian Nacho will get more in the center, Vardy make the run in behind, and Ian Nacho can kind of support him and be in the center of the box for the ball to be laid across for Ian Nacho to just tap it home. Whereas that's a little bit less prevalent in the likes of Spurs, where Kane kind of creates things himself, gets in the and can spray it to the fullback like Reguilon or Aurier, or he's going to get a deep line pass from Ndombele, where I think that Vardy and Ian Nacho are going to be the most involved. Whether Vardy puts those chances away, he could have had more than 2 points for sure. Definitely should have scored. Definitely should have got at least 1 assist in game week 33. So I think it's been a little bit tough on Vardy. I think his season's been up and down. Maybe it's just kind of the compressed seasons catching up to him a little bit, and he needs a bit of a rest. Maybe this full week or the full week off-ish will help him out a little bit over time as these last couple of good fixtures for Leicester, continue with Southampton and Newcastle, and then we'll see really what they're made of come the final 3 games in the season, see if they can keep themselves in the top 4. But I think Vardy can definitely score this week. I can see him getting a decent haul, as well as Ian Nacho. I think just having one of them isn't enough. I think the double up is definitely on, and they'll probably have a double game week, assuming that they move some fixtures forward based on what they want to do for having fans on the ground for at least one home fixture for each team for the remaining game weeks of the season. So Vardy, definitely a captaincy shout. If you have just him and don't have Ian Nacho, I would say he's probably a good shout. If you have both of them, maybe side to Ian Nacho, but I think having Vardy in your team, he's only 23.7% owned, which is still a differential in itself if he's not captain, because a lot of people are going to go for Ian Nacho. He may be over 100% owned as well. They're similar in terms of owned percentage. Ian Nacho 22.6, Vardy 23.7. But Ian Nacho's effective ownership is going to be a lot higher. I would say probably captain him. He's going to be more of the goal scorer. Vardy's maybe more the creator. Vardy still has penalties too as well, which we seem to forget about. And it seems so long ago that Vardy got 2 penalties in one game in their 5-2 drumming of Man City. But Vardy, definitely one to watch for the captaincy this week. If you have him and don't have the likes of Kane or Ian Nacho, I think he could be the next best thing for the captaincy this game week. And finally, a differential captaincy choice for this week. We always do one captaincy choice that is a differential out of the 5 that we normally do on these videos. And this week I've gone with Kai Havertz. And now there's a few reasons for that. One, he's been looking a little bit better when he's been playing in the Premier League. He obviously had suffered from what they like to call long COVID. He was also out injured for a bit as well, and is kind of in and out of the team. The Thomas Tuchel came in, revitalized him a little bit. He's been playing in this false 9 role, and he's also on the goals imminent table, and that's a table that's on Fantasy Football Scout, which basically means he's definitely due a goal based on the number of chances he should be having. In the last 4 matches, he's had 4 big chances, which is 1 per match, but he's only got 1 goal, so he definitely could be scoring more. And he didn't start versus Real Madrid, although he did play some minutes. I think potentially he could be utilized from the start versus Fulham, someone who's a little bit bigger in stature. Fulham probably be happy to concede a lot of set pieces. Havertz is definitely that type of guy who's deceptively, kind of quick in terms of his movement in and around the box and can be in and among the goals. And I want to see a little bit more from a Chelsea perspective of Havertz and Timo Werner, because if that partnership can strike up the way it does for Germany in the earlier parts of the season for Chelsea, then they could be a real handful next season, and we could see double ups for them depending on what they're priced at going into next season. But I think if you're looking for a differential captain this week, I think Kai Havertz is the one. It's probably the only other better fixture because Liverpool playing Man United. City, you don't know what you're going to get with rotation. I think Chelsea at Fulham, or at home to Fulham rather, could be the best shout for a differential captaincy, and I think Havertz is probably your man this game week. And that's going to do it for our Game Week 34 Best Captaincy Picks. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you're enjoying it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're trying to get let's get 1,500 subscribers by the end of the week before this game week starts. Can we do that? I think we're only 15 to 20 away. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. It's free to do. Go hit it right now and turn those notification bells on so that you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. And drop us a follow over on Twitter so you can keep up to date with all the FPL news that we post over there. We will be retweeting any information about the blanks and doubles that are imminent in terms of when they should be announced. They could be announced before the deadline. They could be announced right after. But if we do have any information on that, I'll make sure to post it over on Twitter and then probably do a video about it as well and discuss my transfers. And drop us a follow over on Twitch so that you can see us live over on Twitch for our preview and deadline streams. There'll be a pinned comment down below to let you know